Hi, welcome or welcome back to Crafty Nurse Q. Today I'll be showing you how I make these vellum A6 Savings Challenge envelopes. Okay, and we will be doing this in Canva Studio, and I am going to I do this design a lot, but it's a 6.5 by 3.5. And once that loads, I am today just going to go over to, you see you have templates, styles. I'm doing a back to school design. So I'm going to go down and scroll through here and just go through and pick something nice. If you're new here, my name is Qvatis. I do cash stuffing videos and I also like to do tutorials. So if you find any value in these videos, consider staying with me or watching a few of the other videos that come up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and select this template. And this one has like 17 pages, but these words, they're automatically stuck here. So I'm going to just switch that around a little bit. But I do want it to say back to school. So as I was scrolling through this design, I saw that they actually have the words up here that say back to school and another one. So I'm just going to add another page so that I can add that particular page. And I'm just going to take these words and wiggle them around until they say what I'm wanting it to say. All right, I'm just speeding this up slightly because I'm literally just moving the words back and forth and dragging them where they need to be. Now next, after this, you want to get some boxes, and in the other designs here I'm taking elements from each of the designs. So up at the page above it, I like these rectangular things that are here. So I just dragged and clicked and dragged, and I'm just going to simply drag these down. You don't have to take all of them. I just need to take enough so that I can get to however many I want to have on this document. And for this one, I want to have 50. So I'm just going to keep playing with these. I'm just going to keep playing with these until I get it to where it needs to be. It's going to be a lot of dragging and clicking in this area right here. Okay, and so when I initially tried to drag, there's an element underneath here that's dragging with it. So I'm just going to move that over. I can pull it back up later. And then also I realized I needed to change the color so that I can see what I'm doing within the design. And that's all I did here. So I'm just going to keep these seven as 2 rows of 7 right now. So I want to have 5 rows and 10, it's going to be 10 across and 5 down. So now I have the 5 down. I'm just going to keep dragging and clicking that until I get to the 50. And then right here, after I drug it all, and you see where that red line was, that's how you know it's centered. That's why I did that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and grab some text, and I'll just hit any of these over here work. It's just, you just hit that T or text, and I'm just going to put in savings challenge. Okay, and since I want the design to stay congruent, what I'm going to do here is, I noticed, these words were stationary. So I'm looking for the words, and you can't change the letter after you go up and select font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that template, and it was like 17 pages there. I'm going to grab another page that has words in it, words that you can edit. And I'm going to take that and now add that as a page. Anytime that you add something into your design in Canva Studio, now it becomes a part of it. Now I can go back up here, and you see this was gotchi hand. Now that's a part of a font that I can select. So that's all that I've just done here. All right, and I'm just duplicating that. I'm gonna put a goal down here. The goal for this challenge for me is 1,000, and that's what I'm writing. Or you can just leave it as an open-ended goal and leave it blank. If you leaving it open-ended, you can be for any type of savings challenge. You can do your roll the dice or anything like that if you just put no numbers in it. But I do want to put $20 into mine, and my intention is to do $20 every week, and then that's how I'm planning to do my challenge. And all that you'll do from here is just continue to duplicate and place it where it needs to be within those boxes. And then once you're done there, you just hit the share button and share this as a PNG and download it. Just download this particular page that you have, just the one that you've completed. I didn't put in all the boxes on this one. From here, I'm going to go in and grab another document because I don't want it to print out on this. You know, they do sell those, like it's like 6.5 by 3.5 at Hobby Lobby, so that could be good. But for this one, we're going to grab like a custom size, but it's really just an 8.5 by 11 sheet. And I'm just going to open and upload the document that the savings challenge. I'm just uploading that into Canva Studio. And I'm just going to place this into a letter size document that I can print out, and it's going to be printed onto the vellum paper. I'm putting it here. I'm going to print it out, and this will be printed out as a PDF print. All right, here these are printed on the vellum paper, and they are going to be cut at 3.5 by 6.5. Those are the measurements that we put into the document. Those will be the exact measurements that we should be cutting them out on this area. And then now we do the same thing with the 3ml paper. This is the laminating 3ml paper, and I am also going to cut it at 3.5 by 6.5. Here is the matte vellum laminating paper. It is 5ml. And now I am taking my savings challenge that I'm going to turn into an envelope, and I am taking the 3ml paper. You want to invert it so that the sticky sides are facing each other. One of the sticky sides need to touch the back of that vellum envelope, and then you place it into your matte lamination paper. And since this paper is, I'm going to make sure that I get some other ones in here at the same time, and that's what you're seeing here, because this paper is kind of pricey. Okay, now that it's out of the laminator, I did run it through the laminator, and from here I'm just going to, what I do is I take the bottom and I line it up at the 3.5. That way I stay right on target, and then I just cut across the top. And then once I flip it over to the other side, I'm going to give it like a 1/2 inch at the bottom. So you want it to be 4 inches. We'll just line it right up at the 4-inch mark, and you should be straight. If you're going to be doing these yourself or selling them, make sure that you have your mark and keep it consistent, because I'm telling you, some people know if you're like changing up how you're doing your envelopes. And then on the sides, you just want to at least leave a 1/4 inch to make sure that they don't unseal. But I do have a pro laminator, and that one does really good as far as sealing these envelopes shut. And these are the other envelopes that I made. And from here, all I'm going to do is punch these, hole punch these. And I just make sure that you're keeping it consistent when you do this as well. You know, there's like little markers, like when you have these different tools, just make sure you keep it at the same marker anytime that you're doing it. And that is simply how you make these A6 vellum matte savings challenge envelopes. Let me know how yours turn out in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.